Welcome back to the channel. I'm Johnny. Glad to see you. Glad to have you. Pull up a chair. Today we're going to talk about carving gloves. I have spent a lot of time with every possible carving glove I can find trying to figure out what matters about them and what I can do to educate people about what carving gloves they might want to get. The goal of this video is not to sell you carving gloves. I'm not going to include any affiliate links to carving gloves in any way whatsoever. The goal of this video is to properly educate you so you can make an informed decision and buy a carving glove that you're going to like, that you're going to say, oh, this carving glove is going to work out perfectly for me. I know that before I purchase it. So when I spend my $30 or $15 or whatever it's going to be for your particular carving glove, you're going to know that you're going to get what you want and not waste your money. With that said, I'm not going to talk about brands in specific much. I will mention some brands when it matters for different variations. What I'm going to do instead is talk about 5 different categories of gloves. We're going to talk about HPPE gloves, we're going to talk about Kevlar gloves, nitrile-coated gloves, leather gloves, and chainmail gloves. That gives us a whole gamut of protection. I cannot cover every variation of every single carving glove that is out there. These categories that I'm going to cover are the mainstays. These are the most important ones, the ones that people see most often. Now, to start with, before we get too in-depth in this, we want to go over a little bit of nomenclature, a little bit of background on some terms that we're going to be bandying about to make sure that you're on the same page as we get into this video. The first thing we're going to talk about is the ANSI cut protection scale. That's a North American scale, so I'm sorry for your European friends for having to learn this today, but it goes from A1 through A9. Now, this cut protection scale is measured by weight and not puncture resistance, but slicing resistance. Remember, these gloves are not cut proof, they are cut resistant. So you can easily stab yourself through a glove that's rated A9 on a cut protection scale. So it goes from A1 to A9, with A1 being the least and A9 being the most. As you get higher in this cut protection scale, you're going to gain more cut resistance. Most carving instructors are going to suggest that you start somewhere in the A5 range. That gives you a good balance between cut protection and dexterity. You want to have dexterity in your hand so you can still utilize your hand and do the things you might need to do while you're carving. Not all gloves are created equal on this scale. Most of the gloves we're going to talk about are going to be in the A5 cut protection level. We're not going to I don't want to focus on gloves that don't make it that high. For instance, a purely leather glove that is only leather isn't a cut protection 5 level. They are barely cut protection level 2 in some instances, but not all instances. Most leather gloves are just A1 and they provide very little cut resistance. Scratch protection, fabulous for scratch protection. They do absolutely wonderful, but severe, like actual cut resistance from a sharp carving blade, on tests, they don't provide the resistance that you need. They don't provide it in any measurable way. A2 is like the best, thickest rawhide gloves. They're barely A2. Carving gloves that have a backer or a reinforced Kevlar backer, which is one we're going to talk about, those provide a better option for you. So we're going to flip the camera around. We're going to jump right into this. And we're going to talk about 5 categories real quick. And at the end, I'll give you my opinions. All right, we're going to start this video with Kevlar gloves. Kevlar is a synthetic material made by DuPont. And so these are Kevlar DuPont gloves. What is nice about Kevlar is it is a fabric that offers cut protection. And so you get this nice cloth glove, but it offers a cut protection level greater than leather. These black dots on here are nitrile, which is a synthetic rubber. That nitrile coating is really nice because it provides grip to the glove when you're holding onto a carving, if you're holding onto wood. When I pull on the wood, I don't lose the wood. I don't lose that grip on the wood, which is fantastic. And not all the gloves we go over today can provide that same level of grip strength. That's very important to me. So the categories I want to talk about in these gloves are 1, grip strength, 2, cut protection level, and these are generally between A4 and A6 depending on the glove manufacturer, and breathability. Because of this Kevlar material, it is breathable. It's a knit material, and you can kind of see it right there when we zoom in, right? It's a knit material, which is fantastic. It's very breathable, it's washable, And if you do a lot of sweating, and I do too whenever you're wearing a glove a lot in your hands, having it washable is absolutely fantastic. Because it is a cloth and not like completely nitrile coated, you don't lose a lot on these black synthetic rubber dots onto the carving, but you do leave a little bit on there. So this will transfer a little bit of that blackness onto your carving, but it is not as much as some of the other varieties. It's not as noticeable with the Kevlar gloves as it is going to be on other varieties. The key here is to make sure you pick a glove size that's going to match your hand. This one was too big, and for this particular brand, I went with a smaller version, and the smaller version is almost too tight for me. I think I have an off-size hand, so this is one size different with this particular manufacturer, and this glove fits like tight like a glove should fit. You know, so there's no bunchiness there. It has a good level of dexterity. I have plenty of nimbleness in my fingers. I can move easily, freely, and do anything. I could probably type with these gloves. I would not be able to work a touch screen with these gloves. I wouldn't be able to do much else, and I probably have to take them off, but they do work pretty well. They're going to wear out over time, and as you're carving these gloves, you're going to notice that if you get this knife too close there, you're going to cut some fibers periodically and catch on the fibers. So that's going to wear them out over time. What I tend to do is I wrap to the fingers right there where I'm most likely to catch that. So I wear out the finger wrap rather than the glove itself till the glove lasts a little bit longer. I don't mind that. You do you. You don't have to do that. This glove still offers the cut protection level they are looking for. Kevlar gloves, what do we think? Great grip strength with those black dots. Absolutely fantastic grip strength. They've got great breathability because they're made of that Kevlar material. You can even see through it right there, right? Absolutely fantastic. They're machine washable. I like that. So they're also a good price and they're replaceable. The nice thing about these Kevlar gloves too is that they're ambidextrous depending on what hand you use. So if I buy a pair of these Kevlar gloves, a brand new pair, I've got two gloves. And if I'm only using them on my offhand, I have two gloves in one pair that I can do that with because they are coated with those nitrile coatings dots on both sides. That is absolutely fantastic because then you're getting two gloves for the price of one. So that is our Kevlar gloves. High performance polyethylene gloves. These are all high performance polyethylene gloves, a variety of different styles, shapes. And yeah, I've got a lot of high performance polyethylene gloves. Some of them have seen more use than others. The nice thing about high performance polyethylene gloves is that they are breathable the same way that Kevlar is. High performance polyethylene and Kevlar are just two different materials. High performance polyethylene is it's a synthetic, super strong plastic fiber, and it is really nice because in these gloves, you'll see there's different colors here. They're blending it with nylon and elastic to create a better fit. So while those Kevlar gloves are kind of loose, this one form fits to the hand, and this is the no cry version here. This one form fits the hand very well, fits on there like a glove, so to speak. It's breathable. You can't quite see through it, but on the website, you can kind of see through it right there. On the website, when they're talking about this, they show it not just being machine washable, they tell you to drop it in a dishwasher. Really nice feature of the glove. And you can see these ones are getting dirty here. I'll just need to throw them in the dishwasher again, and they'll come right back out looking clean. And it's really nice to be able to wash your gloves and have them come out just fine and not have that issue. So high performance polyethylene is fantastic. For cut protection, it offers the same cut protection as Kevlar gloves on the same scale, about A4 to A6, depending on the manufacturer. This one has little nitrile dots on it. This one has white nitrile dots for this particular no-cry version of this glove. Most of these high-performance polyethylene gloves do not have any kind of dot protection. So this one here has none of those nitrile coated dots, and so it's very slick, it's very smooth. That nylon high performance polyethylene material feels very slick, and anything you grip, if I grip it as tight as I can, as hard as I can just pull that wood right on my hand. I mean, as tight as I can. I have strong forearms. I'm gripping as hard as I can, and I can pull that wood right out. That is the problem with high performance polyethylene, is that it's so slick. And we see the same thing with another glove I've got included here that's not high performance polyethylene. It is high density polyethylene, but I included the same thing. The Wizard gloves are high density polyethylene rather than high performance polyethylene, and there's not a major difference there. These are fibers that are coated in high density polyethylene rather than fibers made of high performance polyethylene. The difference is very slight. We still have the same thing where I can grip really tightly and it's slick. It is slightly less slick than the high performance polyethylene. The Wizard gloves are. These are the Wizard brand, Wizzard. These are really great though because they're breathable. You can actually see my tattoos on my skin through the glove. Again, puncture resistant? No. Cut resistant? Yes. So you can obviously poke yourself pretty well through there, so don't go stabbing your finger. This one is bigger than I would use for a glove because it was sent to me, but that's just fine. If you get a glove that fits you right, it'll fit like a glove. This one is nitrile coated as well, but it's nitrile coated in a wider path, and this is still the high performance polyethylene, which is great, but due to being coated from left to right with that nitrile coating, now we've got the issue where they bunch up in the palm, even for one that fits me well. And this one fits me really well, but because that nitrile coating for the grip strength in the hand goes left to right in one bar, it bunches up in the palm really easy. So I don't like that about this particular glove, and if I was buying one, I would steer away from one that was coated from left to right there. No Cry also makes one with reinforced fingers. This is reinforced with stainless steel thread in the fingers, and that's a fantastic thing. You can see right here, it started to come apart there. That is the glove itself that came apart and not something that I did to it. This is the right-hand version of the left-hand glove that I've been using, and this one was coming apart like that when I bought it. No Cry has a pretty good track record for guaranteeing their products. If I sent them an email, they would replace this glove, no questions asked. So that's something that I can do, and something that's nice if you get a No Cry glove. And this is one of the only reasons I mentioned this brand in particular, is because they do that. So if you get this glove, or like with any of these gloves, and there's a problem with it, with No Cry in particular, just email them, let them know, hey, there's a problem with this glove, and they'll replace it, and you don't have to worry about it. And they are consistently really good at that. This one here has reinforced fingers, so it has stainless steel threads in the fingers. I cannot feel those stainless steel threads. It is enough that there's barely a difference, imperceptible in the way the glove moves. So if you like that idea for reinforced fingers, that's absolutely fantastic, and you can get that with this variety of gloves. Again, with these gloves, I don't like the grip strength if they don't have the rubber dot. So the one with the reinforced fingers, you do not have good grip strength here. So I love No Cry for the way they guarantee products, but I don't like that this one with the reinforced fingers, which is the one I would use if they had rubber dots on it, I don't like that I don't have the grip strength that I want to have. I have used a lot and have really grown accustomed to liking this particular No Cry glove because of the rubber grips, because of the breathability. But the problem is it's only got rubber grips on one side, and so the other side doesn't, which means I can't buy a pair of gloves and use them interchangeably for that left hand. This right hand glove is just never going to get used because that grip stuff is only on one side. So that is a downside to those gloves. Now, in summation, these gloves have great breathability. They're in the right cut protection level. They have great dexterity in the hands when you're using them. And yeah, great dexterity, good cut protection, very breathable. So just like the Kevlar gloves, these are really close to Kevlar gloves. It's that the Kevlar gloves, I would say, have more of a cotton feel, and these have more of a polyester feel. If you like the slickness and kind of that water wicking material, that's what you want with the high that's the high performance polyethylene. Absolutely fantastic. If you want something that feels more like cotton, go with the Kevlar. Next category up is nitrile coated gloves. What is up with nitrile coated gloves? They have a variety of cut protection levels, anywhere from A1 to A9. Why do these matter differently? Because if you look at this material on the back, this is still high performance polyethylene, but the addition of nitrile coating, and nitrile is a synthetic rubber here, gives you grip strength and gives you grippiness that is beyond compare. These gloves have better grip than anything else that I can find. If you're really concerned about the grip and not losing control of what you're holding on to, and not like, they are absolutely fantastic. The thing to take note of here is that you'll see that this nitrile coating wears off over time. Absolutely. It's going to come off on your carvings. It's going to leave a blackness. It does not matter if you get DexFit, if you get Kago, if you get no-name brands, they are all going to do the same thing, and they're going to leave a black material on your carvings. If you say, oh, I found a brand that doesn't, no, you didn't. A particular glove might not, but another glove from that brand, from the same line, will. I don't know what it is that they're doing that makes them leave black residue and what makes some not leave black residue, but no particular brand is consistent in not leaving a black residue from the nitrile coating. No brand is consistent in any way. I've had a lot of DexFit, and some of them do and some of them don't, and they can be the exact same brand. They can have the exact same everything, and some will leave them and some no. These are the different colors on the thing down here because they're different sizes. But I have gone through a lot of gloves when it comes to nitrile coating. Some of them leave it, some of them don't. Now, the nitrile coating on the cut protection level here does not influence cut protection in any way, shape, or form. The cut protection, again, is a pressure test, and that nitrile coating provides no meaningful or measurable change in the way that cut protection is measured. So even with a really thick nitrile coating, you're not getting more cut protection. So some gloves in here, like this one, is A9 cut protection level. That is all in the way this material is, the backer material, the high performance polyethylene there. So that high performance polyethylene here just has more high performance polyethylene routed into it in a more intricate knit. And for this A9 level glove, for this nitrile coated, it is considerably less dexterity. It's still good dexterity. Like you can see the way I'm moving my hand, it's there. It's just taking more grip strength from my forearms to do that because it's not moving as easily. I would say for A9 cut protection level, this glove in particular, the no-name brand glove, is really fantastic for that. I mean, it's really great. And it depends entirely upon how they're doing the high performance polyethylene. So you can find high performance polyethylene gloves that are nitrile coated or not that provide you A9 protection, and high performance polyethylene is going to have more dexterity in it than other avenues of getting to an A9 protection that we're going to cover in a moment. So my thoughts on these nitrile coated gloves. Breathability is zip, zilch, nil. They do not breathe well. While they still have that high performance polyethylene, they have been coated in a sealer so that the nitrile coating will stick. That sealer does not allow them to breathe. So having your hand inside of this is kind of like having your hand inside of a latex glove. They create a clamminess to your hand, and they can start to create a stink. On top of that, the black rubber nitrile can come off on carvings. So they can leave your carvings dirty and make your hands stink. So while these are probably the cheapest option you can find for gloves, they provide the best grip strength by far. They also can wind up making your hands stink a little bit because if you sweat your hands a lot, they don't breathe very well. And you can't wash them without causing that nitrile coating just to start coming off even more. So that is my thoughts on nitrile coated gloves. Leather gloves. I only have one leather glove here to show you because you can get nice leather gloves, fantastic leather gloves, and they provide a cut protection level of 2. Leather is not a good source for cut protection. These carving gloves by Carving Glove Guy, though, offer a really great compromise there, and I'd like to talk about that for a moment. There's one of the other times I'm going to mention a particular vendor or a particular brand. Like, I don't want to mention that too much because this is kind of a neat crossover here. So this is a Kevlar glove, A5 cut protection level that he has sewn leather on. The issue with Kevlar gloves that they're going to wear, it's going to cause them to wear out, is that as you cut, again, you can cut into the fabric and slowly over time wear that fabric out. The nice thing about leather, as opposed to Kevlar, is that scratch resistance, small cut, is a really great resistance to that. But big, deep cuts, I could cut into this leather really easy. That Kevlar, I can't. So if I got little nicks, this glove is going to take care of those because it's going to have that leather to make this glove last longer. This version of a Kevlar glove with the leather padding on here is going to last far longer, and I mean that, than a regular Kevlar glove. The issue is that you've got to break a leather glove in. And so this leather glove, it's new. Do you hear that? Oh. That new leather sound. You can hear the palm folding. If you don't like that, and if you are really just against breaking a glove in, this isn't the glove for you. This is a glove you're going to have to wear for a while and break in while you use. I find that I don't like the bulkiness of it because it is a bulky glove. But when it comes to cut protection, this is probably one of the gloves that offers the best cut protection you can get. It's A5 cut protection level, but it's not the best cut protection you can get. Let me rephrase that. It's still an A5. No matter what with the leather on there or not, that's not increasing the cut protection level. This is probably the most durable glove you can get, as in it's going to last you the longest. So while it still has a cut protection level of 5, this glove might last you 10 years if you don't damage it in some crazy way, like really just cutting in a big cut. Then you might want to replace it. But outside of that, this glove is going to last and last and last in ways other gloves won't. So that's the selling point for this particular glove. And again, it is bulky. You've got good dexterity, but you lose dexterity, or not dexterity, you lose nimbleness, I guess, in the fingers because it's just so bulky. But if you're just holding on to a piece of wood, it doesn't matter that much. So yeah, take it for what you will. That's what I want. This is the only leather glove I'm going to go over because, again, leather gloves on their own only offer a cut protection level of 2. This particular one is reinforced with Kevlar underneath it. That brings us up to a 5. So this leather glove we can talk about, but regular leather gloves I would steer away from because, again, they can only get up to a cut protection level of 2 on the ANSI scale, and that is not enough cut protection for me to suggest to anyone they might want to think about a leather glove. I would suggest staying away from leather gloves. Last but not least, the most cut protection you can get is a chainmail glove. And these gloves cost about 40 bucks on Amazon. These are the most expensive gloves that we will have covered today at $40 for one glove. Not repair gloves, $40 for just this one glove. Now you can see they're breathable. You can see my tattoos underneath the glove. They move really well. I have a great amount of dexterity here, and I'm not going to run a knife across it because I will dull this knife on these stainless steel chainmail links. I'll dull this knife terribly, and I don't want to do that because it's a lovely knife, and I love that knife so much. This glove is going to be a little baggy in areas, but that doesn't matter too much. The glove also does not have good grip strength. No matter how tightly I grip here, it is just going to slide right through. So if you're really hogging on wood and I push with the knife, you might lose the grip on what you're holding on to. But the nice thing is, I am not going to slice a finger off with this thing, by God. I'm going to damage a knife. I'm going to chip a knife. I am not going to cut myself with this glove in any way. If you really try, you can break those chainmails. I can stab myself through those if I really wanted to. A knife that has a sharp point could easily go right through there, right like that, and I could get right in there to the flesh. You can see the blade's gone in there a good bit. I get right into the flesh and stab myself quite well. But if I'm going to use the back of the blade right here, okay? If I do this, I'm not going to be slicing into skin. So that's fantastic. This is the most cut protection you can possibly get. So there's a lot of good upsides to this glove. What are the downsides of this glove? The downsides are that, well, for one, it's not very fashionable. And two, it pinches your skin. Every time I move this, it's pinching my knuckles as I move it, and just like it grabs the skin and pinches it between that chainmail. And as you're carving, that doesn't bother you at first, but over time it really can get to be bothersome, and it's distracting from the carving that you're doing, enough so that I stop carving with it. I'm like, man, I want to put that away. It's just bothersome. It's tiresome. Maybe I could get used to it if I keep practicing with it. So that's one downside. The other downside is grip strength. When it comes to breathability, obviously top notch. When it comes to being able to wash it, I imagine it's stainless steel. You can just take it to the sink, wash it with soap and water, let it dry, and you shouldn't have any problems whatsoever. Outside of that, yeah, you can put something underneath it to keep that pinching action from happening. The issue there is that no matter what glove you wear underneath it, it increases the bulk enough that it is no longer as dexterous as it once was. The thinnest glove I could possibly put underneath it would be this latex glove, and that provides enough of a slick surface over my skin to keep this chainmail from pinching me, and I know that from practice. This is also the thinnest glove I could possibly get to put on. It makes it significantly harder to put this glove on because I don't have the tactile feel of where those holes are or where it's getting stuck on my skin as I try to put it on. Once I do get it in place though, it feels like a spaceman, like I'm wearing a spacesuit on my hand. It feels thick. It feels, I mean, it's such a significant difference for just having a little piece of latex on underneath that glove that it is bothersome. And I don't know, I definitely wouldn't wear a glove under it because it is so different. It's terrible. You'll notice too, this glove, the size doesn't matter too much. See how it bunches up right here? How those chainmail links are so much thicker there? If I hang it low, you'll see it's much longer. The size doesn't matter as much because this thing's adjustable kind of while you're wearing it. You'll keep your fingers up more and it'll just kind of hang. And yeah, so that is a chainmail glove. It's suitable for some, not for all. It's up to you what you decide you might want to use. I think that this one, if you're going to be using it meaningfully, you want to get maybe a white cotton glove to wear underneath it, something to wear underneath it, but it's going to be bulky for you, and it's not going to be, it's not going to be as dexterous as you might want. If you're looking to step down from this, you don't mind the bulkiness, go over to Carving Glove Guy and get that leather one. You're still getting that A5 cut protection level, but this is A9. And I just think that there's better ways of getting an A9 cut protection level. But with stainless steel chain links, I mean, this goes past A9. You know what I'm saying? This is significant. This is really protecting the hand in ways that other stuff can't. So if you really wanted to, this is a good option for you. And I just want to make sure I covered that as well. That was a lot. In summation, what did we learn? What did I figure out? I have learned that I like the breathability of those HPPE, those high performance polyethylene gloves. I love the breathability. I don't like that they are so slick that you can't grip something. So like the No Cry variety has those rubber dots on them. I do like that. The trade-off, of course, is that I can't get one pair and have two gloves for this one hand because the other hand has those dots on the inside of the palm as well. So I make that concession for this glove. This is probably my preferred glove because it's washable. It's not leaving any material on the carving when I'm using it, even though it is a nitrile coated because the little dots are nitrile. They're white in color, so I don't see anything showing up on the carving, and I really like that. With the nitrile coated gloves, they're sealed, and so I can't get any breathability in. But with this No Cry glove, I get that breathability to where my hand breathes, and because they are polyethylene and not Kevlar, they don't get wet with sweat if I'm carving a lot. And that's another neat factor because they don't get wet with sweat. They don't stink as often. But even if they did, I could simply wash the carving glove and not have that issue. So I'm a big fan of the high performance polyethylene. No Cry does those. A lot of other companies do those. Beavercraft does those. Beginning with the Beavercraft one, I didn't like the fit of the Beavercraft version. So high performance polyethylene for me. And your mileage may vary. You may prefer the carbon glove guy. You may prefer with that leather coated glove. That maybe work out perfect for you, and that's fantastic. You may prefer the old school Kevlar gloves because you like that cotton-like feel of them. And if that's what you prefer, that's what you prefer. Fantastic. Whatever carbon glove you want to stick with that one. Don't let anyone tell you different. But at least now, you'll be able to make a more intelligent decision about why you prefer what you prefer, and you'll be able to keep doing it in full confidence that you've made a good choice. I hope that helps. Thank you so much for sticking around the end of the video. I really appreciate it. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel if it's the kind of content that you enjoy. Head over to Patreon and give these fine folks a thank you for me because they are helping me do all of these things. And a special thanks to Joey Lowe as well because he sent me some gloves I used in the video and I really appreciate that, sir. Thank you so much. A lot of folks have contributed to this glove, have contributed to this video, not just on Patreon, but everywhere, offering me advice or insight into gloves they've used that I've then acquired to use myself so I can provide you as much information as I possibly could from an informed perspective. So thank you to everyone who provided input, who provided gloves, who provided their time to help me make this video what it is. I sincerely thank you, and I very much appreciate it. Thank you so much, folks. I hope you have a great day, great weekend, and I'll see you guys later. Bye. The dog is snoring loudly enough that I'm worrying it's going to be on the video. So I'm going to have to go wake her up and get her to go in the other room and sleep in there. May wanna feel joy and pain. Wanna feel, I don't know. I'm not a singer. Why am I singing again? Oh, get on track. Get on track. Carving gloves is what we're talking about today. Oh my gosh, this is, why did I even plan to do this video? Why? Because it's all of the all about videos, they're way too much. They're like the research, and then I'm trying to think of how do I put that into words? How do I put that thing into words where people can understand it? I don't even know what I'm doing right now. Okay, to start with, I want to go over today all of the carving gloves that you, so today, oh, that's good. That's sweet tea is where it's at. Okay. Okay, I'm ready for this. Let's do this. We got this. We've got this. Yes. Where was I at?